Something you should know about ADHD people is that we constantly have this feeling that we are in trouble, even though we've done absolutely nothing wrong. Now, when I say in trouble, I don't mean like in danger. I mean like we're going to get scolded, yelled at, grounded, any one of those things. Oh, and fired. Like if we have a job, we feel like we're going to get fired at all times. It's just this nagging feeling that we've screwed up or we're going to screw up and we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and someone to call us out on it. And here's how that constant feeling of being in trouble screws with our head. Who are we in trouble with? We have no idea. What did we do? Usually nothing. Just we just feel like we're in trouble for something. We did nothing wrong. In fact, we're adults. There's no one's going to yell at us for anything. We just always feel like there's this little cloud hanging above us and shit's going to go down. This constant feeling explains why we rarely answer phone calls, especially from numbers that we don't know. We hate checking email. We hate checking regular mail. We procrastinate on basically everything. It's just an avoidance. We just don't want to get in trouble, be in trouble, or I don't know, get yelled at randomly, even though that's never really happened. In fact, I feel like I'm going to get in trouble just for making this video. Here's how time works for people with ADHD. It is 2:08. Let's say I have to be somewhere at 5 o'clock. Okay, so it's 2:08 p.m., which means it's actually 2:30 p.m., which means it's really close to 3, so I should start getting ready. If I have to be there at 5, that means I have to leave here around 4:30, which means I have to be ready by 4. So I really don't have that much time to get ready for wherever I'm going. Also, the time I have in between now and then, I have no time to do anything else. So I have to just sit around and just prepare to get ready for what I'm about to do. Also, if I have something to do at 5 p.m., when I wake up, let's say it's 7 in the morning, I will think about that thing that I have to do at 5 o'clock for the entire day until it's time to do it. Hope that helps. Annoying thing about ADHD part, I don't know, 7,500. I have to go to the post office today to mail something. It's 11 o'clock. I have until 5 o'clock when they close. I'm going now because I can't stop thinking about the box and having to go to the post office. I have like a million other things to do, but the box is just, well, it was just sitting on my kitchen table. It is now right there. But every time I walk by it, I would keep going, gotta go to the post office, gotta go to the post office. Like I literally could not concentrate on anything else. Even though I have so much time to do it, I have to go do it now, because if I don't do it now, I'll just think about it for the next, until I go. I'll just think about it until I go. And it's super annoying because I can't get anything else done until I do it. I'm going to give you a little secret about how to get a person with ADHD to listen to your story and pay attention till the end. Actually, this might work for anybody. Are you ready? First off, here's something you need to know. ADHD brains, we want structure. So if you want us to pay attention and focus and remember everything that you're telling us, we need to have a clear idea of where the story is going first. So if your story has like a ton of twists and turns, this is what you have to do. You ready? Tell us the ending first. For example, if the story ends with you in jail wearing a bear costume and holding a can of peaches, tell us that in the beginning. Now, I realize this is the opposite of how stories are usually told, especially in movies and books. You have to get to the ending. But in this situation, we need to know the ending first. Because if you start the story with, you're never going to guess what happened, guess what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to spend the entire time listening to you and trying to guess what happened. We're really not going to listen to much of what you say. We'll hear parts, and we'll use those parts to try and come up with what we think the ending is going to be. And we will miss a lot of the details.
in a lot of the parts of the story because we're trying to figure out the ending because you said guess what happened and we're trying to guess what happened. Also, we'll get stuck on like meaningless parts of the story. We'll kind of go off on our own path. Sometimes not even listen. Sometimes ask questions about things that don't even matter. Sometimes we'll want to now bring up topics that have nothing to do with your story, but just kind of jogged our memory about things. So if you don't want any of that to happen, you got to start with the ending of the story right at the beginning. If you don't, we'll just check out and not listen. I hope this helps.
Here's a classic ADHD move. I have 2 work calls that I have to make. I have 3 projects that I have to finish for a different client, and I have to finish writing an article. So what am I doing? Cleaning the floors. When you're already ridiculously overstimulated, and then you have to put this on. This might as well be torture. Tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD. I'll go first. I wanted to work on a article today. Had all day to do it. Said I was going to sit down and start writing it. I didn't work on it at all. What did I do? I separated all of my coins. I took out the pennies, dimes, and nickels. I'm going to take them to Coinstar, and I saved all of the quarters.
Compiled a list of my ADHD habits that some people find pretty annoying, but I find them kind of funny. Saying that I'm never doing something ever again and then doing it again. This is usually like going to a restaurant where I didn't have the best meal, or if an app pisses me off, I'll delete it and re download it again, especially games. If games piss me off and I can't beat them, I'll say I'm never playing this again and I'll delete it. And then, like 2 weeks later, I'll re download the app. The way my memory works, there's no rhyme or reason to everything that I remember or don't remember. For example, I won't remember when your birthday is, and I won't remember that you told me that you're having surgery, but I'll remember that story you told me from like the 4th grade when you vomited in math class. I'll remember it down to like the exact detail of anything you repeated to me. Also, I'm sorry about missing your birthday. I rearrange things for people, even if they don't ask, especially my kids' rooms, uh, people's desks. Like, I might go to your house and organize some stuff for you. You didn't ask, you didn't want it done, but I'll do it anyway. People are usually thankful. Sometimes they probably change it when I leave. It doesn't matter. I just my head needs it to be organized. So, eating certain foods or meals for a long stretch of time and then never eating them ever again. It's not so much meals. It happens with snacks a lot. I'll get like obsessed with a snack and eat it for like 2 months and then never eat it again. And it's not because I'm sick of it. I just forget that I ate it or forget that I liked it. Every trip to the grocery store is like a new adventure for me because I remember things that I used to eat and I forget about things that I'm eating currently. That's why I have to make lists. I should probably keep my old lists to go over all the stuff that I used to buy. I couldn't tell you what I bought last month. It's probably completely different than what I'm buying this month. My daughter likes to make a joke that I had a rice cake phase. Like every time we go to the grocery store, she'll go, "Remember your rice cake phase?" She's right. I did have a rice cake phase. And finally, um, I move stuff to places so that I will remember it and then I forget where I put it. I find that one to be the funniest. Like I will put my keys and my wallet on the kitchen table instead of the spot where it always is, where I would normally go and get it. And I'll put it on the kitchen table because I'll remember it there, as if I could leave the house without my keys and my wallet. I mean, I could, but I will eventually remember that I need those things, but I will move them to different locations and then get mad when I can't find them in the correct location, but then laugh about it because I know that I put them somewhere else. So it's always like a fun little scavenger hunt for me before I leave the house. Thanks for listening.
Okay, and 1, 2. Where's my water bottle? Did I leave it on the last machine? I hope someone didn't take it to Lost and Found. I better check. I wonder if they have my sweatshirt. The one I lost last year. Or was that 2 years ago? Wait, what year is this? Oh, it's 2024. Okay, 2024, 2025, 2020.
Green sniper. And they were saying when he was in high school he had ADHD, and he could sit 3 hours behind the scope of a rifle with a tarantula on his arm sitting in a bush.
Yes.
And like, no problem. At 39. That neurophysiologically peaks at 39. And that's when working memory starts to degrade. That's when innovation starts to degrade. That's when focus starts to